Hi, I'm Nina. I'm your Legit Kit certified instructor who is super excited. Your block of the month of Starry Night. Like, like, come on. Tell me you're not excited about that. It's block of the month. So it's not like a gigantic kit with a whole lot of stuff. It's once a month block with just a few pieces. It's so so exciting, and I get to share it with you. And I am so excited. I shared with my honey. I really would like to have that Starry Night Lego. There he is. The Lego. I'd love to have that in the background for all my people who are going to play Starry Night with me. Because let's be honest, quilting is playing when you get to do it with your friends. And he said, well, honey, you should go ahead and buy it. And I'll build it for you. Truth be told, that's what he said. But the box came for Starry Night. Do you see how big this is? This is big. And he went, how many pieces is that? And I said, 2,316. And he said, I don't think the quilt has that many pieces. And I said, you know what, honey? I think you're right. Because our first block has only 80 pieces for our first month. 80 pieces. And I said, yeah, but honey, I really would like to have my little Vincent in the background. I really would. Please. So I had to build half of it myself, but it got done. And look at, he's making his own little art. He's my little Vincent. So he's going to keep track of us while we work on Starry Night. Shall we open it? And leave me a comment. Let me know. Is this your first kit? Is this your first block of the month? Is this your first experience doing foundation paper piecing? And I'm going to see what comes in our kit because it comes with goodies. It comes with goodies. So we have a Legit Kit sticker. We like those. We love stickers. I love stickers. They go on my water bottles and on really kind of everything. Who doesn't love stickers? Come on. You know what? Years ago when I was a kid, I did gymnastics. And right next to our gymnastics place was a sticker factory. And they would like dump out their seconds in the garbage can. And as soon as they all left, all the kids jumped in the dumpster. So we just love stickers. But these are really legit stickers. These are nice, nice. Look at this one. Oh, can you see that? Look at another special thing. Look at this. That's a magnet. What else is in here? All right. A quick start guide, which comes in this little postcard. Says don't panic. Why do you think it says don't panic? Really, you know, the thing is, don't panic. Don't panic. If you make a boo-boo, we'll help you. If you are running out of fabric, you're going to call up and you're going to say, I cut something wrong. Please help me. And we're going to help you. So then you've got this brand new handy dandy little booklet to enjoy your project. And it's a general guide with assembly directions. But yeah, please read that. But I'm going to walk you through that next month. This is going to be your little handy dandy refer to. So when we go back into our little kit here, I'm going to see what's next. Okay, flip it over. You have your main page. I hang on to these because I make little binders. I'll show you that in a minute too, but I have that. Then you have this page. It's just the artwork. This is really cool because you put a piece of plastic over this and then you take a Sharpie pen and you can kind of think, plan out, draw on top of it, figure out how you might actually quilt this quilt. So that's fun. Then you have a couple of these really fun things. My first project took me a while to understand why do they look the same but not yet the same? They're the same but not yet the same. So one of these is here we go. This is the pattern side, and this is the finished quilt side. So this one, it says right here, finished quilt. When you look at this, it's like you're looking at the quilt like as it's sitting on the wall, just like that. The other one is the pattern side. So this is if you are looking at the wrong side, where all your seams are. And I like to keep these kind of next to each other so I don't make a mistake when I'm putting the blocks together, like, you know, A goes here and B goes here, or does A go here and B go here. So I like to keep that really close at hand because it's super helpful. And now we are looking at month 1. So we have a shortened version of the artwork. So, you know, you can really plan it. And you can see there's kind of a difference in the two color variations because these are A1 and A2 here. And again, pattern side, finished side, same kind of deal. And we have 2 blocks to do. And all the kits are the same. You will get all of this every time you buy a kit from Legit. You will get everything planned just like this. What's special here is that we're doing it a month at a time. So you're not getting 64 blocks. We're getting 2. We're going to do this. It's so doable. And so then our next page looks like this with these little color thumbnails, so you can kind of keep track of codes, because every color has a code, and this is kind of like your index, a glossary, dictionary. It helps you find everything you're looking for. And if you're more about having an actual list than thumbnails, that's the same 2 pages, but now on a list format. So, you know, when you have stuff on your computer and you click the box, you want it in a list as opposed to thumbnails, that's your list page. Same thing. An assembly guide. This is a super important page. It's just a single page because we're only doing these 2 blocks, A1 and A2. And what these are all how we put our segments together. So this is the visual, like the puzzle, of how you put the segments together once we've sewn some things. And this side is the directions. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So it's really important that you stay on track there. There's a whole stack of pages. Whole stack of pages. I love stacks of pages. And this is literally a suggestion of how you lay out your pieces when you cut them. So this is one fabric color, as you can see it right here. And these are the pieces that you need for that color. And you only need this one piece for that color. And this will go on for every single color that is needed in these 2 blocks. So you will follow that. It's not to size. It is a suggestion of how you lay it out. And I'll talk way more about that when we actually start cutting and putting things together in the next video. The next pages are super, uber important. And you'll notice when you get these have all these letters, and they have numbers, and they have like these outlines and things. But more importantly, when you feel these pages and you feel them, they're printed on newsprint. This is foundation paper piecing paper. And so these are your actual patterns that you will sew on. So you'll sew directly onto this paper. And so what that means is this is your only pattern. And if you make a mistake, you're done that. Cut something in half. This is a big whoopsie. So what I like to do, and you only have, in this month, we have 6 pages. I'm going to go run these to my copy machine because it's my pattern. And I'm going to, you have a choice. You can scan them in and save it as a PDF and just keep it on your computer. And so if you have a whoopsie moment, then you only need to print maybe 1 page. And or just throw it in your copier, make your 6 pages, and put it with the rest of your stuff. And that way you have a backup for when you need a backup. I don't know about you, I'm a morning sewer. If you have me sewing after 8 o'clock at night when I go to a retreat, that's when I make the most mistakes, and that's when I have to have a date with Jack the Ripper. You see my little seam ripper has a little angry man, little angry guy. That's my angry guy. So when Jack the Ripper comes out and I have to take out seams, yeah, that's usually because I was sewing at nighttime. I'm a morning girl. Pieces, but here's where the magic sits. I just love this. Look at all these beautiful, feel these beautiful fabrics. These are your colors. They're alphabetized. They have these wonderful stickers on them. Don't take the stickers off. These match the codes that you had on the previous sheets that I showed you. So it all matches. It all goes together. And I don't take my stickers off until the last absolute moment if I have to. I will actually cut fabric, leaving the sticker on up until it finally has to move. So I leave mine, but you have these little ones here, these little tiny fragments. Then you have these ones also alphabetized in the next size up here, which are our scraps, and there should be plenty fabric. And then we have the next size up for these 2 blocks. We only have 2 at this size, but they're right here. Kind of like, I'm partial to this. I'm partial. When you see my sewing machine, you'll understand why I'm partial to this. I like this color. That one's AC. It's asparagus. I mean, that's like everything. That's what's in your kit. And that's all you need from Legit. But now you do need to have some foundation in foundation paper piecing. It's different than standard sewing something together matching up raw edges. It can be counterintuitive because you're going to turn stuff what I'd say upside down or backwards. And hopefully, after you watch a couple of my videos, it won't be hard at all. There's a few things that I cannot live without. One of them is a light board. I can't tell you how much I love my Caterpillar light board, and this one is cordless, so I charge it up, and then I don't need to have yet one more wire dangling by my feet. So I use it. I do use this light board, and I like Caterpillar's light board because I can cut right on top of the light board. It has a cutting mat that sits on top of the light board. It works fantastically. That's one of my favorite tools. I absolutely use really, really thin thread. So this is Deco Bob. So it's a very, very skinny, skinny thread. Think about this. When you do foundation paper piecing, you have layer and layer and layer and layer of fabric. And in between, as you sew, one seam and then you sew another seam that kind of crosses over. If you also have thread, fabric, thread, fabric, thread, fabric, it can get pretty thick. And so when you have an opportunity to sew with a thinner thread, that's just less thickness. The other tools that I think are like absolutely's are my add quarter rulers. My very first foundation paper piecing quilt I did, I used a standard ruler. Life was fine. My felt pressing mat, love a felt pressing mat. I have a hot iron. It's not plugged in right now, right over here by my station, so it's ready to go right onto here when I need it. I have, some people really like these little roly-poly things for their seams. I have washi tape because, yes, the paper will tear. It doesn't tear all the time, but sometimes you make a mistake, you start to pull it off and you realize you didn't mean to. And I just tape it back together with a little bit of washi tape. So I go through my sewing closet when I'm about to do another legit kit, and I grab all the right tools, put them in one place so I'm not like tripping over myself. I get myself a glue stick. So this is for this is for piece number 1. I need this glue stick, and this glue stick is temporary. And it's my favorite one. It's this one is Scotch, but it's in a blue stick like this, and you can put it down and you can move it if it's crooked, and you can take it off and move it, and it doesn't harden like some of the other glue sticks. So I just really like this guy. One secret, but I do sew on a painted featherweight. You know the joke where you're not supposed to cut paper with mom's sewing scissors? Yeah, you don't sew on Nina's painted featherweight with pins and needles. I don't want to scratch up it. It's like it's so stunning. So I have learned to fall in love with this Acorn products. This is a glue for the seams, and this is for pressing those seams. And it comes in a little pressing pen. And so those are my favorite tools. The Kraken back here, look at that, is watching you. Get the tools. Try them out. Trust me, you'll love them. I do organize my kit a specific way, and I have one here. There are times when I don't use this big book system. There are times when I know I'm going to quilt and I'm going to be home when I make this quilt from start to finish. But I'm a social girl, and I like to go to girls' night out, which means I have to pack up my stuff and I have to take it with me to my local quilt shop where I hang out with my girlfriends and we sew. And so if I were to lay all of this fabric out and all of these pieces out, I need a lot of room. And so if I were to stay home, I could probably use my long arm. It's 10 feet long, and I could pin everything to the bar, and then it would just be like right here where I need to use it. But what I prefer to do is to create a system where I can get it all into one little binder. And now when I go to girls' night out, I just plop my little sewing machine into her little bag. Well, truth be told, I'm a creature of habit, and I like sewing so much there with my girlfriends that I actually have a locker and a sewing machine that lives over there too. But if I didn't have one that was there, I would only have to pop my sewing machine into a bag and grab a binder. So this is my binder that I created when I did this quilt. And this is a mini, so it's 4 blocks, so it's a little bit smaller than what Starry Night is going to be. But maybe I would do an inch thicker for Starry Night, but we'll see where I am when I get started. And so what I like to do is I like to put that on the front, and I like to put the artwork on the back. And when I'm done with a quilt, I have all my leftovers and my information and my extra pieces, and they go into my sewing closet. And if I ever want to make another one, I can. So I put my stuff into plastic sleeves, but I organize it and I put all the cutting stuff with all the fabric. Everybody gets their own sleeve, and it just makes it so that when I go to ladies' night out and I'm sewing with my girlfriends, and all I have is this one small table right here, about that wide and about this wide, and a little side table like this for pressing. This is all I need. Everything's ready. It's in this one book, and I don't have to get up and go to a cutting table. I don't have to get up and go to the big iron table or wait my turn. I can do everything in my one space. So I will prep Starry Night. Rule number one, make copies so I don't ruin the actual pattern and I have a backup. That's rule number one. And rule number two, I didn't talk about yet. I'll talk about that more in the next video, but I press my fabric before I cut anything. Absolutely starch it and press it. You're going to make cuts from this way and that way and this way and that way and this way and that way. You want to starch it. You don't want your fabric to fray, so you starch it and then you keep it in their little sleeves. And then we're going to be ready to rock and roll the next time we meet. So between this video and the next video, y'all have to send me a message. When Vincent van Gogh painted his Starry Night, he said in a letter to his brother, "The sight of the stars always make me dream." So I'm so glad you're going to dream here with me.